Hello everybody and welcome back to our next video. So today I've decided to come into the potting shed. So you might find that I sound a little bit different. That's because I'm inside. Now it's threatening to become quite a windy and wet day, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to do some potting. And the plants that I'm going to pot up today, or I'm going to grow them, is actually some runner beans. Ta-da! So first you'll need some runner beans. And they look like this. Now this here is a runner bean that is the seed of the runner bean plant. Okay, so when we think about the life cycle, this is the first stage of the plant, the seed. And it falls from the adult plant into the ground or onto the soil. But in this case, I'm going to give it a little bit of help and I'm going to push it in and I'm going to plant it. So in order to do that, I'm going to need something to put my seeds into and something to grow it in, and that's soil. So the good thing about runner beans is that they grow in almost any soil, so you don't have to go out and buy any compost, although compost and potting soil is the best. You can literally take it out the back of your garden. Not a problem, any soil will do. And if you haven't got any soil, I'll show you another way of starting to grow these in a little bit. So the first thing we do is we fill this with soil. Now I've already done this side, so I'm going to do this side. I like to use my hands to do this job, but if you've got a really small trowel, then you might want to use that. One about this size is probably a little bit too big, but let's give it a go and see. Does it work? Oh, just about. But I really like to get my hands in and I get to feel the soil and be really part of it. Someone who likes to plant or is good with plants or likes to garden is often known as someone with green fingers. They don't look pretty green to me. So, once we got them filled, I then can take my beans and I simply push them in with my fingers. There's one, there's two, there's three, there's 4, 5, and those of you counting, that's number 6. So I've literally just pushed them in, and now I just want to make sure that the top covers them, the soil covers them like that. Now, I then need to water these. I need to water them and put them in a warm and dark place. Now, if I put them outside straight like this, it'll take a little bit longer. That's absolutely fine. But if you grow them in a warm, dark place to start with, they'll grow a little bit quicker to start. Because the shoot, which is the first bit that comes out of the bean, okay, the roots come down and the shoot comes up. That's called germination. As it starts to germinate, the shoot will come up and the roots will come down. And the shoot will come up quicker if it's dark because it's racing up trying to find the light. Because all plants need 4 things. They need water, warmth, light, and nutrients. As long as you've got those, they'll grow well. So, as I said, if you haven't got something like this to start them in, because we're going to go, when these grow, we're going to put them out in the garden. If you haven't got a pot or something like this, literally anything with some soiling can do. Maybe be a cup, maybe an old takeaway dish, could even be a box. You know, it's not going to be in there for long, but just be aware that if you are using a box and you're putting water into it, and you've got it in your house, it's obviously going to come out the bottom at some point, so maybe put it on a tray. I've actually done one on a baking tray, that worked quite well. But like I said, if you haven't got a pot, or if you haven't got soil, there's a way that you can grow them. Have a look at this. I grew these runner beans literally in this bag, a little bit of paper towel at the bottom, that's wet, and I stuck that to my window. And there we have got 2. There's one here, and there's one up there. In fact, I think there might be 3 in there that I started. But this is a fantastic opportunity to actually see the parts of the plant. So let's have a look. I'm going to rip this open because I'm not going to use it again. I'm actually going to plant it out. There we go, take it out nice and gently, nice and carefully. We see this fantastic thing. Now, before I show you this, when a seed first goes into the ground and starts to grow, it looks a little bit like this, and I have a little model. Okay, so there's the runner bean in the middle, and out comes the root. Now that little green bit coming out there, the root, is going to head down. Okay, it's going to head down. It's very clever, it knows which way down is. And then the other part will turn into a plant, the shoot, and come up. And here is what it looks like. So if I just take this one off very gently, as gentle as I can, because I don't want to hurt it, because I want to plant it. See, it's not coming off, so I'll leave it on there for now. I'll take that later. So you can see here that the runner bean has split open. Yeah, it's split open and the roots have come down and they've actually come across here because that's where the bag was lying. So this is the roots. This is where the plant drinks, pulls up all the moisture out of the soil and brings out all the nutrients and goodness out of the soil. Like we need vitamins and things to live, plants need nutrients. Yeah, and there they are. They look like long hairs. Yeah. And here is a little shoot that's gone straight up now. Up here, this is called the stem. At the top here, we've got our leaves. Okay, and that there, that little bunch that you might be able to see just there, don't know if the camera will focus, that's actually going to turn into a flower. Once that turns into a flower, and an insect comes along and pollinates it, which means it takes the flower from another plant to that one, that's when it will start to turn into another runner bean. Now, I haven't got a runner bean with me today, but if we look on the picture, that's what it looks like. And in there, you'll find around about 5 or 6 of these beans. Remember? That's how we started. And so that is the plant's way of reproducing, of creating another plant, of almost, in a way, having a baby. Now, going back to these ones, once I've planted these up and they've been watered and they've started to shoot and the plants have come out of the ground, out of the soil, sorry, they'll look like this. Here's some I grew a few weeks ago. So these are about 3 weeks old. So the process that'll take about a week for them to start to shoot, and then they'll come out and they'll start to grow like this. And for the eager eyes of you, you can see that there is the runner bean, that's split, and out's come this beautiful shoot, and the roots are heading down. So, we'd love to hear what you choose to plant. I mean, you can plant anything now. You don't have to plant vegetables. You could go and plant some flowers. Or maybe you could show us some of the seeds that you've discovered. Places you could find seeds are if you open up a tomato, those little spots and things in a tomato, they're the seed. If you open up an apple, the same. And if you look in a pear, you could find the same as well. And if you've ever split a cucumber open and looked down the middle and wondered what those spots are, that's right. You guessed it. They're the seeds. So, right time of year to get things out, and let's see what you get out. We'd love to see some emails or some pictures and some photos just to let us know what's going on and what you're growing. And we do hope you're having a lovely, lovely time. Looking forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.